Hello Internet, I'm your only mate, and it's time for a new episode of Death Battle. This time we have Hercules versus Sun Wukong, Greek mythology versus Chinese mythology. Now, as I should say with all my reaction videos, please click the link in the description below to go watch the actual episode itself, before watching mine or anyone's reactions. Don't be a dick, support the official release. Alright, so how do I know these characters? I know of... Okay, well, I know, like, bits and pieces of their stories. We're really with, like, the actual, like, myths themselves. I'm more familiar with, characters, that are either based off of them or just different adaptations of them. Like, with Hercules, my mind just immediately goes to the Disney movie because I watched that when I was a kid. And Sun Wukong, I mostly know about just by knowing that he was the original inspiration for Goku from Dragon Ball and Sun Wukong from Ruby. Who would have thought? So, in a way, I'm both familiar and not familiar with these two. It's a little weird. So, yeah, I'm going to keep this intro short and sweet. Let's just watch this episode. Wow, 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 wow. When am I supposed to do that for a moment?
Hercules, the god of strength.
Sun Wukong, the Monkey King.
Myth has many heroes, but few overcome their past to become legendary.
And maybe inspire some comics and anime to boot. He's Wiz and I'm Boosted.
So much.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who will
Why am I
win
doing that?
a death battle.
Old habits.
He's the man, the myth, the legend! He's Hercules!
Stories of Hercules exist in many iterations, but we'll examine the earliest known accounts, the legend of Heracles.
No Disney zero to hero, just the classic Greek myth. And like most ancient Greek stories, it began with Zeus being a total...
I guess I really should
The
just
god of
call him
thunder did
Heracles
his
from this
thing
point
with
onwards.
the princess by disguising himself as her husband.
Oh, what the hell, man?
And thus a demigod was born, who was named Alcaeus.
But Hera was pretty pissed Zeus had cheated on her yet again, so Alcaeus' human parents renamed him in her honor. Yep, Heracles means glory to Hera. Too bad
Father of
she had already made up her
51
mind,
children.
That kid was
God.
gonna pay.
The child would need some
Way
way
too many.
to survive Hera's wrath, so the goddess of heroes carried out a plan that was, frankly, insane. Athena tricked Hera into nursing the baby Heracles, and her milk gave him supernatural strength unbound, even beyond many of the gods themselves.
So strong that he hurt her and caused her to spray milk all over the place like a boob sprinkler, which in turn created the galaxy. Yep, that's why we call it the Milky Way. Oh god, I'm never eating one of those candy bars again.
That's
With
not
his
the kind of Milky
godlike
Way I've
power,
seen before.
Heracles became a fierce
There's a
warrior
caramel
trained by
version?
the finest instructors in all of Greece. Unfortunately, he wasn't without problems. While he was a natural at boxing, wrestling, fencing, and so much more, he struggled in the arts.
He even had a fit and accidentally killed his music teacher.
Little did Heracles know this was a sign of the tragedy to come. Many years later, as his name began to be synonymous with the term hero, he murdered his wife, Princess Megara, and their sons.
Yeah, Hera had magically driven him into a kill frenzy rage, but that didn't excuse it for Herc. His guilt was there.
Desperate to atone, he sought guidance from the Oracle of Delphi and learned his path to redemption.
And that's when he had to do
would
a whole
submit
bunch of,
himself to King Eurystheus and
trials.
perform for him 10 grueling labors.
There
The
we
guy
go. Oh,
was a
labor's okay.
D-bag, but Herc did what he had to, and through his struggles built a killer arsenal.
For his first labor, he was tasked with slaying a lion whose hide could not be pierced by any blade.
So Herc just beat the lion to death with his bare hands and took the pelt as armor for himself.
He defeated a flock
As you
of
do,
yellow,
and that is
man-eating
pretty
birds
badass.
with cortalas so loud no living thing could bear the noise. He battled a multi-headed hydra, cauterizing its necks after each decapitation so the heads would not grow back.
A lot of sliced off heads meant a lot of blood spilled, and Hydra blood is extra poisonous. Even gods fear it.
Okay, yeah, I've
So
heard
Herc
about these
dipped his
arrows.
in the stuff for later use, like when he used them to take out centaurs, titans, and even the sun.
Sort of. The details of this myth differ, but in some versions, Heracles was so fed up with the desert heat, he fired an arrow at the sun, the physical embodiment of the god Helios.
I guess that's one way to cool off. Take that, global warming!
To reach the sun, his arrow would have to fly 90 times faster than light. The
Jesus.
maximum draw weight of a typical recurve bow is about 40 pounds, shooting an arrow 300 feet per second. Shooting one faster than light would require strength incomprehensible to mortals such as us.
Anyway, Herc completed his labors, but the king was a sore loser and axed 2 of them for cheating. Because Herc was a lot more clever than he expected.
Heracles received 2 more tasks, one of which required he retrieve the golden apples of Hesperides, which, ironically, originally belonged to Hera. As part of his plan, Heracles would temporarily take on the role of the Titan Atlas, as bearer of the heavens.
That sounds exhausting.
More than you think, dummy. While modern art often
I'm always
portrays
happy to see
Atlas carrying
dummy.
a globe, the Greeks perceived his burden as a celestial sphere. This would mean Heracles supported the weight of not just the Earth, but the whole universe.
Like, I'm holding up this entire show.
The common view of the time was that the universe was endless. Even chaos, the primordial origin of everything, was boundless. Meaning, Heracles held up the weight of conceptual infinity.
Luckily, Herc's got one hell of a drive to persevere and to
Okay,
make
then.
amends. Like when he met King Admetus, he got to party it up and was too drunk to realize the king was in a really bad state because his wife had just died.
Reminds me of someone.
Can't imagine who. Well, Herc felt bad, so he decided to make it up to his bro by literally beating up the god of death until he returned Admetus' wife. And that's true best friend material. Whiz.
You know what? Actually, that
surprised
is.
others with his wit,
Respect.
particularly with finding solutions hidden in plain sight. For example, when he wrestled Antaeus, a giant who was invincible so long as his feet were on the ground, Heracles simply picked him up and strangled him in the air.
Even giants and the god of death couldn't end his
Loopholes,
story.
bitch.
Instead, he was tricked into putting on a shirt covered in that Hydra blood, and it totally screwed him up. What a BS way to go.
Yet also a testament to how a contest of power could not defeat him. Racked with unbearable pain and burning at a pyre, Heracles called to the deities who had watched his story unfold. And so, as his mortal form returned to ash, Heracles ascended to Mount Olympus.
Where he was welcomed as the god of strength. Even Hera lightened up.
His life may have been one of strife and struggle,
Hey, Smite.
but on that day, all the world was left in awe of the legend of Heracles.
Alright. Let's see what you got, Sun
There
Wukong.
once was a mighty monkey warrior, born of a mystic stone from the energy of the sun and moon. Upon birth, he graciously bowed to the cardinal directions and...
Shot lasers from his eyes. Strap in, folks. This one's a doozy.
This monkey soon befriended a band of other primates, and rather narcissistically
Japanese
named
name's Son
himself
Goku.
their
No,
handsome
really?
Monkey King.
But after a few centuries of monkeying about, he got a taste of the dreaded midlife crisis.
You see, the Monkey King was fierce and brave, yet he feared death. So he ventured to new lands in search of immortality.
Turns out he'd find
Oh, and then he got a
Training
whole
under
lot
the
of
Taoist
immortality.
Master Puti, he earned his first method of immortality, and a new name. He would be the Monkey Awakened to the Void, spoken as Sun Wukong.
He also learned a bunch of magic. He can ride clouds, make thousands of clones, heal from fatal wounds like decapitation, and transform
that's
into
handy.
basically anything. A bird, some vapor, a pitchfork, even an incredible fighting temple.
With his famous cloud
Okay.
somersault, he could traverse the world at incredibly high speed. At first, a single somersault could carry him 108,000 li, li being a traditional Chinese unit equal to about 500 meters, making one somersault move 54,000 kilometers per second. Fast enough
Damn.
to circle the entire Earth in one leap.
And he'd only get faster from there. Monkey would do whatever it took to prove he was the best of the best.
When fighting the mighty deity Prince Nocha, his foe transformed into a more powerful visage with 3 heads and 6 arms.
But Sun was like, hey, I can do that too, and then did just that.
Sun Wukong eventually returned to his simian subjects, and with his newfound power, amassed a veritable army. However, he felt no weapon in their arsenal suited him.
So he barged into the Dragon King's palace and demanded he hand over a weapon worthy of a king who could match the power of heaven. Yeah, Sun was pretty full of himself, but he
Yeah,
wound up
sounds like
taking
it.
a pillar originally designed to measure the depths of the ocean.
What seemed like a worthless rod to the Dragon King was actually the perfect weapon for Wukong. Weighing nearly 8 tons, the Rui Jingu Bang can change size at his whim. It can shrink to the size of a needle or grow long enough to pierce the heavens.
The same heavens that got pretty mad with Sun after he crossed his name out of the Ledger of Death, making himself double immortal. Wait, how does that work?
And even more mad when he
Just
demanded to be
don't think
formally
about it,
acknowledged
Boomstick.
as the great sage equal to heaven.
Okay, we've got a headstrong goofball who quickly masters new powers and wants a fancy title. This is just shown in anime.
Now, the Monkey King may have lashed out, but it was because when he requested a place in heaven, a place he truly believed he deserved, the Jade Emperor's court reduced him to a stable boy.
Beneath all his antics, what Sun wanted most was to prove himself.
Even with all the shenanigans, the Jade Emperor remained cautious and willing to placate Wukong.
By making him the watchdog of the Garden of Immortal Peaches. He totally ate that shit, didn't he, Wiz?
Oh yeah, Wukong got hammered, ate most of the peaches, ran around the Jade Palace in a fit, and found 5 gourds of immortality pills, which he promptly swallowed.
Oh
All of
boy.
them.
Okay, so that makes how many layers of immortality now?
I'd say a few hundred, thousand, if you count each individual peach and pill. When he sobered up, he knew he was in serious trouble, so naturally, he prepared for war.
Wow, that escalated quickly. What did
Yeah,
they
kind
do?
of.
Kill him? So the Monkey King proved too strong for heaven. He battled all their best fighters and even matched Erlong Shen blow for blow in an epic battle of transformations. He's that guy with the third eye.
And heaven's greatest holy warrior. Yet no matter Erlong's form, Wukong always had a counter. Until Lao Tzu threw in a convenient plot MacGuffin that captured the monkey. But even with Wukong in chains, heaven had a problem.
He just wouldn't die. Lightning, fire, even Lao Tzu's de-immortalizing furnace just made the monkey stronger.
Now, Wukong is not invincible. He has been hurt by the scorpion demoness's poison, which could even harm the Buddha, an awakened divine being liberated from the cycle of life and death entirely. Now tell me, how painful is that?
Pain is all in the mind, and I am absent of mind. Oh, God.
Oh.
Oh, no, I was wrong. It's bad. It's really, really, really bad. Oh, God, make it stop. But even after all that, Sun had one more challenger to contend with. The Buddha himself.
Buddha approached Wukong with a contest. Leap out of his hand, and he could have the Jade Emperor's throne for himself.
Having no impulse control, the monkey agreed, and in an instant somersaulted to the very edge of heaven.
But he had already lost. Because Buddha achieved nirvana, he transcended the world, literally holding all of existence. So even at the edge of the universe, Wukong technically never left his hand.
For his rebellion, Sun was put in timeout, sealed under a mountain for 500 years.
But even Sun Wukong would find a chance at redemption. In his case, he was tasked with escorting and protecting a monk, Tansong Zong, or Tripitaka, on a journey to the west.
With additional companions,
there it is.
Pixie and Sandy, the trip was a tough one, and Monkey abandoned it more than once. But through it all, he always returned to shine as the group's powerhouse, saving Tripitaka's life many, many times. Seriously, this guy could not stay out of trouble. It's like Wiz at a blind date.
Wukong has cracked apart mountains, slayed hundreds of monsters, and survived the Yellow Wind Demon storm that could destroy the universe. As in heaven, earth, the 18 layers of hell.
Okay
and
then.
more.
That's cool and all, Wiz, but let's answer the real question. Can he beat Goku?
Maybe. During his journey, Wukong performed possibly his most legendary feat, holding up Mount Sumeru, which, in traditional Mahayana Buddhism, is a mountain supporting the infinite cosmic sky.
And Sun just hauled it around on one shoulder. Just one. Because on his other shoulder was a whole other mountain.
After 14 years of travel, the journey was complete, and Wukong had finally accomplished a truly great deed. For this, he was given his long-awaited place among the heavens.
As the victorious fighting Buddha. Now that's gotta be an anime.
After so much time as a rebel, an outcast, and a truly unstoppable warrior, Sun Wukong had, at last, found his home.
Pause. Okay, I'm torn here, because one thing I kept thinking with Hercules is that he held up, everything. Like, the universe, or just, like, basically infinity. So I was thinking, okay, so he's definitely got the strength advantage from the sounds of it, but they just brought up Sun being able to contend with that same level of power. So, there's that. I want to say Sun is probably faster, due to him, like, leaping to the edge of heaven or, like, another universe entirely just in an instant. And a big thing for Hercules is that he has those poison-tipped arrows that can even harm gods. But it just sounds like Sun is fast enough to avoid them. And on top of that, there's, like, how many different means of immortality that Sun Wukong has? So, yeah, based on all of that, I want to say Sun Wukong is going to win. Because of, it sounds like he's better trained. Because they mentioned that Hercules had trouble, like, mastering arts. And a lot of his, like, ways of going about things was just his sheer strength. Whereas Sun, I think, can compete with that and also, like, use a lot of, like, techniques and whatnot to just get around it. And it also sounds like he has a lot more abilities, like the whole, like the clones and, like, shape-shifting and everything like that. So yeah, I'm going with Sun Wukong. If Hercules wins, I'll be shocked a little bit, but also I don't know how else to really word it, so I'm just gonna put my headphones on and resume. Alright, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Alright, let's do this. Oh yeah, I saw this preview on Death Battlecast. I love that it's a scroll, and there's a narrator.
Atop a great mountain, where the mighty Hercules sought a gift from the gods.
Oh there!
Huh?
I'm in need of that apple. Relinquish it.
Sorry, I'm supposed to find my master some vegetarian food.
You'll find it elsewhere.
I do like the voices. Although I have to admit, slight missed opportunity not to get Michael Jones as Sun Wukong.
Easily fooled.
Just the... I thought that would have been clever.
King's strike rang true, but he'd not so easily overwhelm the god of strength.
It just sounds like Sun's having a good time.
I am Hercules!
That's a lot of clones.
Die, demon!
Agony! Agony!
The Monkey King fell into a strange forest, in awe at such a wondrous fight. But should he mistake his fear, he might lose his head.
I haven't had such fun since I fought all of heaven. Change! Behold me, the immortal Monkey King!
Multiple heads. Of course.
Watch this!
Damn!
You've had your fun, beast, but I've had enough!
In heavens above, the gods witnessed their earthbound selves, and so
Oh my
joined in battle.
Oh
The
my...
god of strength mustered the heart of Olympus, while the great sage harnessed power equal to heaven. Thus, the Monkey King emerged victorious!
Wow, would you look at that? I struck him so hard he was reduced to nothingness.
With a formidable foe slain, stricken against the mountain's breast, so ends our great tale of East and West.
I like the way they wrapped that up.
KO! Talk about a Herculean matchup!
Heracles was among the greatest heroes in myth, but the great sage equal to heaven held many more advantages.
You'd think Sun might not measure up to the god of strength, strength, but he totally could. Remember, he carried Sumeru on his back, the mountain holding up the infinite celestial sky, like how Heracles held up the infinite celestial sphere.
As befitting heroes of myth, they were on par in that they were both incomprehensibly strong. However, Wukong's healing abilities meant he could bounce back from Heracles' deadliest blows, whereas Heracles did not have a similar option.
But Heracles did have one way of putting the Monkey King down. His arrows dipped in Hydra poison.
The Hydra poison threatened even the gods of Olympus, similar to the scorpion sting. Whether or not it would be fatal is questionable, but it could have incapacitated Wukong, similar to how it affected Heracles himself.
But that is one very specific win condition, and we're looking at this with every possible option in mind.
With his variety of clones, transformations, and numerous other spells, Wukong's arsenal was far more versatile.
Like, there was nothing stopping him from making thousands of clones of himself and just sitting back while they beat up Herc for him. Unsportsmanlike? Sure. In character? Absolutely.
Even then, those arrows would have to actually strike Wukong, which would be extremely difficult. Yes,
because
in
of
some
how fast
depictions,
he is.
Heracles could potentially shoot the son of Helios, his arrows flying 90 times the speed of light. However, in his contest with the Buddha, Wukong leapt to the edge of the universe in a single second.
There
to
we
do
go.
So, he had to be moving over 1.4 quintillion times faster than light.
Making him way faster than Herc could ever hope to be.
Heracles held might of mythic proportions, but barring a lucky shot, Sun Wukong's versatile magic, similar strength, and absolutely absurd speed overcame this foe. Fitting for heaven's equal.
When fighting Sun Wukong, Heracles missed his chance.
The winner
Nice.
is the Monkey King, Sun Wukong.
Congratulations, Sun Wukong.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to see who comes
All right,
next. And
what's
if you
the
can't
mid-season
wait, consider
finale?
clicking that join button below to become a Death Battle member. You'll get
Boba
exclusive
Fett
badges, emotes,
or
live
a
chats,
surprise?
live streams, and way more.
Okay, Boba Fett. Oh boy. Okay, so let's talk about this episode. I like that. I like that a lot. The animation was really nice. I like how it kept like cutting back to the scroll, like just like unfurling and like showing us a bit more of the area as the as the fight went along. The bit where it was just like the gods themselves, that was cool. Also, a quite trippy way. I did feel like the final blow was a tad anticlimactic just because it happens after the narrator says Sun wins. But no, that's just me. You guys might feel completely differently. I'm glad I called it for the right reasons. So that was pretty good. I like how the music sounded. Like the music sounded really nice. Also, the voice acting, and Sun Wukong's voice actor in particular, honestly, he just sounded like he was having a good time, like, the entire fight. So, yeah, I really like that. As for the next time... Well, rip Obza versus the Predator, because that's what I wanted. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not, like, that excited for Boba Fett vs. the Predator. Partly because, well, yeah, I wanted the Predator to fight the Arbiter from Halo. So, and given, like, if you guys remember that top 10 most wanted death battles I did, that was number 3. So the fact that it's just like not happening now, and I had a hype trailer in mind for it and everything with the perfect music sorted. So this feels like a bit of a gut punch seeing a different matchup get announced. But hey, if you wanted this fight and you're happy you're getting it, then, you know, that's fair enough. Like, more power to you and everything. Some might know that I was pushing a little bit for Boba Fett versus Star-Lord, mostly because I just knew of Star-Lord a bit more, and I thought the novelty of him challenging Boba Fett to a dance-off would have been funny. But also, that was just me desperately wanting, like, Opposite versus Predator instead. So, yeah, but, I mean, I'm sure, like, that'll be fun as well. And, it's, coming out, in 2 weeks, just in time for RTX, which I'll be at. So, I don't know how I'm gonna go about doing a reaction to it. Like, should I try recording, like, something while I'm out there? Like, in Austin? Or should I wait until I'm back and then do, like, a rewatch and just talk about, like, my time at RTX or something? I don't know, I'll have to just wait and see how I feel. Yeah, I like that episode a lot. A little gutted by the next time announcement, just because I wanted another fight, and it is what it is. So I'm just gonna wrap this up. Thanks for watching all of that stuff. And okay, so I changed the order of my outros just so I could put the Zuko outro at the end of the last one. So I'm not sure what to put here, but... well, whichever one I feel like doing, and I'll continue the cycle from there. Bye.
Thank you for watching Your Only Mate. Tune in next time.